Hey guys, John here from Sonic Drive Studio. I hope you're all doing well and welcome back to the channel. Today I have something a little bit different for you guys, but definitely very important. And yesterday I came to realize why. Spoiler, it's about unwanted noise and hum. I guess that's something that all of us guitarists have to deal with at some point. Now let me start at the beginning for you guys. So recently I saw a video from Morley, that crazy German bald guy, if you know what I mean. And in that video, he was talking about a new product from Morley, the Humno, which is this little thing that I have over here. And this little thing seemed to be able to get rid of some unwanted hum. So I was pretty intrigued, to be honest. I came in contact with the folks at Morley, and they sent me this thing to try it out. And they also sent me the hum eliminator, which is a similar device, I guess you could say. But yeah, they sent these to me just so I could try them out and see if they worked for me. This is not a sponsored video, by the way. They just sent me these to try out. So because of that video, I already was convinced that this could solve some problems in certain setups with dual amplifiers hooked up and so forth. But now I had to find a way to incorporate this into my setup. Now, before I talk to you about how the Humno saves my day, let me talk to you a little bit about how this works. Well, I don't technically know how this thing works internally, but I do know how you can use it. So when an electronic sound device hums, like an amplifier, for example, what you do is you plug this into the amplifier, and then you plug the power cable into this end here. So this goes in between the amplifier and the power cable. And then it basically gets rid of the hum or the unwanted noise. Now, if there is no hum at all, of course, this is not going to solve your problems. But if there is hum, there's a pretty good chance that this thing might fix the issue. Okay, so now I started thinking, how can I show people how this thing works? I need to have some hum first, right? In my system, I already have a bunch of devices in place that help prevent noise. For example, I have a bunch of different sound cards like my Axe-Fx and my Helix, and they are all hooked up to my computer with USB, of course. And there was some noise coming from the CPU, or from the computer at least, through the USB cables or the ground of those cables. And to help eliminate that noise, I'm using the iFi iDefender, which is a sort of USB plug. And I use that to connect my sound card devices to my computer, and that helps already quite a bit. And also when I'm working with my Axe-Fx, so when I'm using my amplifier with my Axe-Fx, I'm using the Humbuster cables, and that also helps a bit. And I use that setup quite often because I always use my Axe-Fx for reamping, basically. And there always is some noise present, but I tend to get rid of that with noise gates. So a noise gate up front and a noise gate after the amplifier. But you can only fix so much with a gate, because a gate only takes the noise away when you're not playing, right? So, and distortion can't always properly, mask unwanted noise, especially when you're playing like a long palm muted chug or something. Then a lot of times when there's too much noise, it will become more evident. So noise gates just aren't ideal to fix hum issues, to be honest. Now, for a little bit of amp hiss, which is quite common with high gain amplifiers, of course, a noise gate does wonders. But hum, I think that needs to be eliminated in a different way with a device like this. Anyway, so yesterday I was working on a video with some high gain amplifiers. And as usual, with those amplifiers, there was some noise present. And there was a little bit of hum, a sort of weird staticky hum that was just too much for my taste. And of course, the noise gates could sort of remedy that problem, but I wasn't satisfied, okay? And then I started thinking, wait a minute, this is the perfect opportunity for me to try the Humno. Now, to be honest, I was a little bit skeptical, like this thing isn't gonna magically fix this problem because my setup is a little bit complex. I have my guitar going into some pedals, then into the front end of the Axe-Fx, then a loop goes to my amplifier, that amplifier to a reactive load, and the reactive load back into the Axe-Fx, and then of course the Axe-Fx is going to my little mixer and then to my monitors, and so it's a complex setup, I guess you could say. So I was a little bit skeptical, but sure enough, I plugged this thing into the amplifier and it solved the problem, and I'm really excited about that. But like I said, like a little bit of hiss with a tube amplifier, especially with a high gain amplifier, is perfectly normal and perfectly acceptable. But hum and sort of weird staticky noises, that's not good. And like I said, my setup just tends to introduce more of that because of how it's set up. It's kind of like a 4-cable method, and those setups with loops and stuff tend to introduce more noises, ground noises and stuff like that. And I guess being connected to a computer also doesn't help. Anyway, let's just take a listen to how the amplifier sounded with the hum, and then to how the amplifier sounds without the hum. Check it out. So, as you could hear, that's a pretty big difference. This is really a lifesaver. I hate unwanted noise and hum, so I'm already loving this thing. Now, the hiss that you heard with the Humno, like I said, that's perfectly acceptable. That's just something that high-gain amplifiers do. And with a gate, you can easily clean that up, not a problem, and your signal will still sound very good. But that weird hum or staticky noise or whatever it is, that could be solved with the Humno. So from now on, whenever I'm using my amplifiers in the studio, I'm always going to use this thing because, yeah, it will definitely help keep my signal more clean. So I'm very stoked about it. Now, of course, this thing can also solve issues with other devices like PA speakers, monitors, you name it. Anything that has like ground noise that you're not particularly enjoying, you can try this with and it might solve your problem. But of course, I'm an amplifier guy, I'm a guitar guy, so this is going to solve my problems with hum issues on my amplifiers primarily. Now the hum eliminator is also a kind of a similar device, but this doesn't work with power cables. This works with XLR and jack cables. So this could be useful for connections that use these types of cables, for example, with mixers and speakers and stuff like that. So that's also good to know. But yeah, so this is the Morley Humno. A really cool product, and I just wanted to tell you guys about this because it can really help you to solve some very frustrating issues that you might have with hum in your setup. I just don't like it to patch it up with a gate when there's too much excessive noise, and I'm sure you know what I mean if you like working with amplifiers and guitar gear in general. So I think that everybody needs one of these in their studio or in your home or whatever you play. And this thing might save the day one time, so it's always good to have one in your gig bag or whatever, in my opinion anyway. So thanks to the guys at Morley for sending this over to me, and thanks to Henning for making me aware of this awesome product. That's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and that you found it useful. Please drop a like and subscribe, as that really helps the channel out. I'd hugely appreciate it. And you can also follow Sonic Drive Studio on Facebook, Instagram, and of course drop a comment in the comment section down below to let me know your thoughts and to let me know how you would use this product. Are there pieces of gear in your collection or whatever that make hummy noises? Let me know. All right, guys, see you soon. Cheers.